Checking in here, tapping in. It's happens to be Mother's Day Sunday, and I'm walking through this neighborhood that's kind of near where I live here in Brooklyn. And I thought that I would do a little recording because there's been, things on my mind related to mothers, related to emotions, etc. Because truly, we all did have mothers. We all do have mothers. Whatever. If they're gone, R.I.P. Sorry. But also we are our own mothers. This is kind of what it is.
Seeking asylum,
I'm finding it kind of awkward to do this because there's a lot of people around me. But I'm trying to overcome. Anyway, so I was thinking, I'm thinking like one of the big tasks of a mother, right, is to attune with their child, to like actually have a clue about what the hell's going on with this little creature, small human, who does not know how to speak yet. And how, some people are better at this than others, just naturally. And, but that is also our task as adults, to tune into ourselves, to like know what the hell is going on with ourselves, our bodies, our souls, our minds, everything, our relationships, our environments, everything. So I was just considering this and how that there is sometimes like a conflict, or not a conflict, but just a complication that I experience when trying to, attune to myself in this way of like mirroring what's going on inside of myself. Then like on the other hand, kind of like soothing like what's going on in there or whatever. Like say, like with, especially I think that this emotion is particularly challenging, is anger and rage, because sometimes you've been done dirty or just some shit happens and it pisses you off, and you're so mad and you just feel it in your gut, or maybe you don't, but potentially you could feel it in your gut, just like burning, like it's just in there. And then it's dangerous because you could really kind of like end up lashing out at people that don't deserve it, or even if they do, it's just not great to like lash out. So but then if you like rage on and on, or like you just complain to your friends or whatever, just feel into that rage and everything, then I don't know, it could just be a little much. So I just think that one in particular I'm kind of thinking of is just difficult to balance, because it can kind of just put you into such a bad place, But then ignoring it or trying to be like, no, I'm cool, whatever, love and light, is like also just a bad call, So just thinking about how this like self-mothering or real mothering whatever, it's like a tricky business, because there's just like there's the acknowledgement and like some type of people would call it coddling or indulging in your feelings, or things like that, which I think is valuable and important and necessary. But then at the same time, if you do that too much, then it's like basically you're just kind of like trapped by your crazy historic emotions all the time, and that's also kind of unfortunate. And it's just like, well, damn, like you just become an angry person, or like you're sad, like super sad all the time, huh, or something. So or whatever. But then, yeah, anyway, this is just me sort of like rambling and pontificating. But it is a real balance, and I think when done right, you can kind of get back to yourself, and that's that real self, so to speak, quote unquote, is 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 happy, is like happy and available to participate in reality right now. You know, I do really feel in my heart that at base, like, we were all born like happy. We're all meant to be happy. Like, we're like happy creatures, you know? And like, we're chillers. We love fun. We love to laugh. And I think I remember reading, I mean, this is just one example, but I was remembering reading that in like some kind of hunter-gatherer group, it's like anytime there's like a group task to do, it's like people like will sing together doing this thing, like sing and laugh and enjoy themselves. And it's just like, why the fuck, like, we just have such a hard line in this society, I guess, of like work versus play. And I think it just makes people really miserable. And then when you devise your own work, you know, like artwork or whatever, it's also, I mean, for me, sometimes I have this sort of like legacy, residual misery that goes into it, where like it doesn't really have to, but it just comes from like the years and years of conditioning of like, work is hard, school is mandatory, I have to wake up like at hours that I find ungodly, and like do all this stuff, and it's just kind of becomes like programmed into you. It's almost really like, yeah, like society really wants everyone to be miserable. And I do think that, you know, as Honey Pluton says, fun is sacred. That I fully agree with that. And I think fun is more than sacred, is also just our fundamental nature. And it's who we are in the best of times, you know, which should be most of the time, I feel, you know, or could be. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, people are just flying through the red light here. America rapidly declining into a free-for-all state. Let's see here. Anyway, yeah, just to kind of talk about my experience, maybe why this came up today besides Mother's Day, is like earlier I was just kind of, lately I've been experiencing kind of like a burnout from just like overworking myself, like trying to do some stupid project at work, which I hate doing that. I hate burning myself out for work. You know, I'd rather burn myself out for my other stuff that I do, but it just happened to, I just didn't kind of notice, I think, that I was kind of pushing too hard, and like I got out of my usual balance. So I'm kind of working through this. I'm trying to rest a lot this weekend, just kind of yeah, just find ways to just breathe, you know, and like just dissociate from this like really gripping stress feeling where it's just like, check the email, check the text, check. I mean, you must know this because it's kind of like the main paradigm of like our whole modern society, you know, is like they just want us to be in this like hyper alert, like hyper vigilant state and stuff like that. And so, but for me, I think for a lot of people, that is a very harmful state to stay in for a long time, and I just stayed in it too long. So just trying to kind of like have R&R this weekend, but it's very challenging to ease out of that. So anyway, today I was like sitting, oh fuck, oh no, okay, sorry, thought I got lost. But I was like lying on my couch and just sitting there and just like feeling into myself and just being like, I don't know, just finding a simple joy in existence. And I was listening to some podcasts, but it almost was kind of halfway listening to it, and I was just like finding like that like simple joy of existing and lying there. And I think maybe that could be a helpful way to think about rest for people who find rest hard, including myself. is it's not like, oh, like stop doing everything and just like be peaceful and whatever. Like it's not. It's just like find a way to just enjoy your own being while doing simple things. And like enjoy like having a body and being a human and stuff. Anyway, I think I'm just gonna sign off here. Just wanted to do a quick one. Bye.